Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts at Drayton Park Golf Club, and today I'm in my swing studio and I'm going to do a video on improving your impact. If it's something you think you struggle with, I'm going to give you a couple of really simple exercises to get the feeling that we're getting that correct impact of ball and turf. And the two things we're going to concentrate on is the fact that actually we've got our pressure onto our lead leg by the time we hit the golf ball. That's going to help give me that slightly downward blow into the ball, and our hands are slightly ahead of the golf club rather than actually adding loft or causing us to bottom out early where we're catching the ground before the ball. So I've done a couple of videos that I think are going to help you. I'm going to put the links to it in this video as well. One's to do with the roll of the right arm, because if that actually is straightening too early, it's going to stop, the body stops, and that's really going to start to affect impact as well. And the second video is the roll of the hips and how they're working up and turning to the left. That again is affecting impact, what we're going to be talking about today. What we're going to go on to now is nothing too technical, it's just a couple of exercises to get that impact feeling that we're really looking for. So I've already mentioned that we're trying to hit down on the golf ball a little bit. Tour average with a mid-iron, a 7-iron I've got here, is 4 degrees on the way down. Slower swingers will actually only want to be hitting level, maybe 1 or 2 degrees on the way down, and harder hitters 3 or 4. I don't really think anyone with a mid-iron should be hitting more down into it than that. You can tell a lot by looking at your divots in terms of how deep they are as well. So we're trying to hit a little bit on the way down. My club is 34 degrees aloft, and we should be de-lofting that, and we're de-lofting a little bit by a couple of reasons. One, because we're hitting down on the golf ball, as just mentioned, and the second reason is we're creating a little bit of shaft lean. So what shaft lean means, if I get the tour stick on the leading edge of my golf club, so the grip is underneath it, that's 0 degrees of shaft lean. If I now keep the club head where it is but push my hands forwards, that's shaft lean. So it means my handle of the golf club is ahead of the club head end. The tour average on this one with the gents is 11 degrees of shaft lean with a mid-iron. So their handle of the golf club is ahead. And that's helping us get this impact location that we're really looking for, this ball turf contact. So the couple of exercises I've got for you. The first one is just to use an impact bag. These can be picked up very cheaply, I think about £30. So pretty inexpensively. What I want you to do is you're going to go ahead with little half swings and just getting that feeling that as I strike the bag, my pressure's onto my lead leg and my hands are ahead of the golf club. Okay, you'll get a very different sensation if your hands stop and the club carries on. It'll sound a lot different, it'll be a lot weaker, you'll get a very different jarring effect in your wrist there. What I'm really looking for is that very solid feeling that I'm creating when I get my pressure onto my lead leg and my hands slightly ahead of the golf club. So using an impact bag is the first exercise and a really good one for you guys to go out there and try. The second exercise is going to be hitting shots from impact. So I'll just set up so I've got this orange line, which you can see is quite central in my stance. Okay, so that's the golf ball. That's my setup position. So my head's over the ball, my pressure's very equal. And what I'm looking to do at impact is keep my head where it was, over the ball, but I want more pressure onto my lead leg, so my hips are open, and I want my handle of the club slightly ahead of the club head end. So, head stays where it was, pressure to my lead leg, hips open, and my hands are slightly forwards. What I'm going to do is go ahead and make a short backswing, really short backswing, and then just try and get the feeling of turning through. Okay, so short backswing, turning through. What I don't want to do from here is make too long a backswing where I replant my right foot or my pressure goes to my trail foot. I'm trying to keep that pressure over my lead leg. Now, as I said, I'm looking to be hitting down on the ball, for me, around 4 degrees. When I do this exercise, it's going to encourage me to be hitting down on it a little bit more than that, almost over-exaggerating. So I'm expecting to see a figure, maybe double that, maybe up to 8 degrees. We'll look at the numbers when it comes up. So I'm just going to hit that. So when I do hit this shot, you'll see the full screen image of the ball flight and the data. So setup position, impact position, pressure's on my lead leg, hands are forwards, head still over the ball, short backswing, and just turn my body through. And it's going to be a nice low punch shot, as you can see there. Not too worried about the distance, but that felt pretty solid. So let's look at the numbers. So I hit down on the golf ball there. That was a pretty good guess. I hit down on the golf ball by 7.3 degrees. I de-lofted this 34-degree club to 21. So I've taken 13 degrees aloft off it. You can see the rest of the numbers are pretty good. The strike was good. The club face is likely to be more open like it was on this because I'm not really creating any release. I'm trying to get that real feeling that my hands are ahead of the golf club. Remember, this exercise is just exaggerating it, exaggerating the opposite of your fault. Excuse me. So I'd expect to see a little bit more on the way down, a little bit less loft. If I go now into just a normal full swing, we can look at the difference between that exercise and then a full shot. So I'd be hoping to hit down on this one by more like 4 degrees and creating a dynamic loft. For me, normally somewhere 26 to 28, 29 degrees would be good. So I am de-lofting the golf club by sort of 6, 7 degrees possibly. Right, so setup position. I'm going to go ahead and hit a normal one now. Just a bit of a cut. Maybe felt like it had a touch more down on it than normal. Distance was okay. It didn't feel too bad. Just left that out right. Club face is obviously a little open. Let's look at the numbers. So I hit down on the ball by 4.4 degrees. I de-lofted it to 25. So I've actually taken off 9 degrees aloft, which is a little bit more than I'd like to do. I prefer my angle of attack to be closer to 3 degrees on the way down and my loft to be, as I said, about around 27, something like that. So I'd be de-lofting it right by around 7 degrees instead of that one, which was 9 degrees. It did feel a little bit more down, a little steeper than I would normally create. But it's great to get that feeling of getting the ball then the turf, which I did on that one, not the other way around. So if it's something you struggle with, those 2 exercises are really going to help you. And they're going to give you that sensation of our pressure being onto our lead leg. So we're hitting slightly on the way down and my handle being slightly ahead of the golf club rather than a lot of amateurs that we see in this kind of position through impact or very static. Give those exercises a go. Let me know how you get on with them. Do post some comments and questions below. Make sure you check out the other 2 videos that I put the links to in this one. They're going to help you if it's something you do struggle with. And all our social media info you need to check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is coming along the bottom of the screen now. We'll see you next time.